All right, welcome back to Beauty Talks AI, the show where we talk about the intersection of technology and beauty and how technologies like AI are redefining the customer experience across beauty retail, from brands to retailers, all the way up to the consumer. Now, today, what we're going to talk about are some of the tangible business problems that AI as a technology can solve in beauty. Now, if you know me or Revieve as a company, you know that for us, AI technology or AR technology, for the matter of fact, isn't the end goal. We use technology and AI specifically to help you as a brand, you as a retailer, drive a tangible outcome for your business and your consumer base. Now, in order to do that, it actually means that AI is something that isn't just slapped on. It means that it has to solve a tangible business problem and a business problem that is pressing for you right now. And I want to go through some of those business problems today in detail, based on some conversations that I had with an executive of a brand, a well known global skincare brand, uh, just last week. Um, because I do believe that if you are looking at AI or any technology, for the matter of fact, for your customer experience, if you just focus on the technology, you are not going to be successful. You need to really dig deep to understand what are the underlying problems I, as a brand, want to solve for myself. What are the outcomes I want to get? What is it that my consumers care about? And use that as a starting point. And then the technology, like AI, can fit into solving those problems. So let's get to it. I want to touch on 7 distinct business problems for which I personally believe AI as a technology is actually a really good fit. So, starting off with number 1, consumer product discovery, right? So, if you have a lot of products, and even if you don't have an extensive inventory of thousands and thousands of products as a retailer, even if you're a brand, you've got 20, 30, 50 products, 100 products in your inventory, there's a lot of noise for the consumer. So, what AI can really help do for the consumer is it can help narrow down that selection of products. It can really fundamentally help answer the question, which products are right for me as a consumer? And this is a fundamental question that consumers struggle with because we're talking about beauty, and these are probably I would say, the most personal products that you as a consumer will ever buy. So answering this question, helping the consumer find an answer to the question is absolutely paramount, if you want to win in this business. So again, we can all talk about all the good things that this sort of leads to. You increase product discovery, you get better conversion, you get better basket size. There's a lot of data that points to that. But the tangible consumer problem is really about helping the consumer find the right products. Simple as that. Now, a second one that I actually heard from a makeup brand executive, and this was the day before yesterday, was the confidence in making a purchase decision. And this is particularly true with makeup, but it's also starting to be true with skincare as well. Um, Consumers need confidence in order to buy. So you put a bunch of products, on the store shelf. You put a bunch of products on your e-commerce site. The consumer really needs to understand, what's going to happen when I buy this product, and particularly with makeup, how am I going to look like when I've bought this product? Is it going to be a fit? Um, and that's where AI and AR technologies can really help increase that confidence. At the point of purchase, really increase that confidence and get the consumer over the hurdle to say, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to buy this because I'm confident in this particular purchase. All right. A third one is acquiring new customers. Now, most people don't actually think about this, but I was speaking to a VP of marketing for a relatively established beauty brand, but they have a new product line, and this new product line, it's something that they're not very well known for in that particular category, in that particular segment, and the target audience that they have is not what they have with their other product lines. So this is where AI can come in, and really help you as a brand kind of establish a presence and acquire new customers. So you can leverage AI technologies to really tell your brand's story towards, let's say, a new set of customers who may not be familiar with your brand, or maybe they associate your brand with something which you want to change that association. You're coming out with a new product line. You're trying to do a rebrand. This is where AI can really help kind of paint the picture of who you are as a brand. And through that, you're actually helping the consumer buy. And again, this is a big trend that we see when I talk to, whether it's brands, whether it's retailers across all the five continents that we work with. There is a big change going on where brands and retailers are recognizing that their fundamental job in beauty is to help the consumer buy. And if you help the consumer buy, guess what? You're able to sell to the consumer. But you have to lead with the notion of, how can I help the consumer make the right decisions? How can I help the consumer understand what we are about as a brand? And then if you win over the consumer, you win their hearts and their minds by being helpful, you're able to actually sell to the consumer. Fourth, we can talk about is creating a consistent brand experience. This is something a lot of brands struggle with because they may use different technologies, different backends, different customer experience components across all the different geographies, all the different channels where they operate. And really, what you want to do, particularly as a brand, is you want to make sure that your brand and your philosophy is displayed in a certain way, right? So you want to make sure that it comes across to the consumer consistent. Doesn't matter if the consumer is shopping on your e-commerce site in the United States, whether they are shopping on your e-commerce site in Japan, India, China, France, wherever, whether they are visiting your stores in across all the different geographies, or whether in fact they are buying your products through your retail channel. You want to make sure that they are getting an experience from your brand that is consistent with how you want to talk to the consumer, what your philosophy is. And that's a really challenging thing to pull off. And that's really where AI can be of quite a lot of assistance. Omnichannel, right? This is another thing that, the brand executives mentioned to me a lot, which is when the consumer is sort of thinking about making a purchase, right? That journey from discovery all the way to purchase isn't really linear, right? It's an omni-channel journey, right? So they look for information, they try out products, and they seamlessly switch and move between different channels. So if you think about the experience that you're offering to the consumer, you should really look at it from the perspective of, how can I have increased that fluidity between the different channels where I operate, so that each channel isn't in a silo. And it goes a bit back to the kind of consistent brand experience point as well. But that's where AI solutions can really be helpful, and kind of bridging that gap and creating some of that fluidity, and removing a lot of friction between the different channels, kind of allowing the consumer to do what they would anyway do, um, which is have this omni-channel customer experience with your brand. Now, loyalty. This is another thing that I think is an underappreciated area where AI and beauty can really help. Now, it doesn't matter if you're a brand or you're a retailer. I would argue that you don't just want the consumer to buy once. Okay, you want the consumer to come back. You want them to become loyal customers. And in fact, a lot of brands that we also work with, because they spend a lot of money on loyalty programs. They spend a lot of money on retargeting consumer, re-engaging the consumer after the purchase. And this is also where AI can be really fundamental, because if you think about what's required for the customer to come back, do you need to have great products? Yeah, of course you do. That is a given. We're in 2025. But you also need a great experience. And how do you create a great experience? Well, one of the major components for a great experience, which gets the consumer to come back, is that you as a brand show to the consumer that you really understand them. And AI is a way for you as a brand to really understand the consumer. What do they care about? What are their goals? What does their profile look like? What are they trying to solve for? And through that increased understanding, you're able to get the consumer to come back again and again and again. So that's a sort of fundamental piece of you as a brand, you as a retailer being successful is being able to take in those insights. And a lot of those insights can only really be delivered through these types of personalized AI customer experience solutions. And then last but certainly not least, um, I would say another kind of underappreciated area where AI can make a really big difference, particularly to your future outcomes, is around assortment decisions if you're a retailer, or new product development and formulation decisions if you're a brand. Um, there are a fair few people in the industry talking about this, but I would say not so many brands or retailers really taking advantage of the power of AI in this way. Because again, if you think about what does the consumer get with an AI powered experience? They get the promise that they will get a personalized experience. On the flip side of that, they are willing to part with a lot of information about their goals, preferences, concerns, attitudes, aptitudes, desires, and that data can be harnessed for you as a brand to figure out, what are the next product lines? What are the types of products or the types of ingredients that consumers really resonate with right now? Effectively, I would say, I would even call it almost like a global online 24/7 consumer panel. And I think that is really, really powerful, but obviously reduces the costs of doing that research, the consumer research, but also um, it enables you to make better decisions, which means better product lines in the future. Now, if you're a retailer, yeah, it's slightly different because you would look at this as an assortment decision. What types of brands should we carry? What types of product lines should we carry? But the bottom line is this is a major, major opportunity as well, and one that I think is underappreciated and underutilized today in the world of AI. So, all in all, if you look at yourself and your business and where you want to take it, and you see, you know what, one of these business problems is top of mind right now, AI can be the perfect solution for you in 2025 to actually start addressing some of these things in your business. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Beauty Talks AI.